These nuts.
Yeah. All right, welcome everyone to the Ivory Podcast. Yes, that is the name for now. We don't actually have an official name. I am joined by my co-host.
Koha, Mercer, the best.
Yeah, we've been friends for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah, only like 7 years.
Only like 7 years. Yeah, I think we met each other intermediate. But yeah, we've got some interesting topics lined up for you guys this week of the podcast, I guess. I mean, okay, so the actual thing, we are actually planning to do this live. It's just I thought for the first one or two, just to ease the nerves a bit, we would do them recorded, and you're okay with that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and
I don't know if the audience is okay with that, but
yeah,
I'm
this
okay
is
with
this
that.
is not the final like graphics as well at all. Like Koha can't see it yet, but it's going to be probably very basic in the videos. And this is if you're listening to this at the moment, you're actually watching the full podcast. So this is mostly unedited. I mean, there might be a few gaps every now and then of us deciding what the hell to do, but
Yeah,
mostly
like
unedited.
taking a break or something.
Yeah, and if you're not hearing this, which I mean would be, I don't know why I'm talking to you, but these podcasts will be cut up into individual topics as well. So.
And that will be available on your second channel?
Yes, that is right. Miss Ivory Studios Live. Yes, I almost forgot the name of my own thing. Yeah, we've got some interesting topics in today's podcast. What the heck is a gaming restaurant? I don't know. Izzy
Uh,
found this topic.
yeah.
We'll have to do a deeper dive into it. What else have we got,
We're
Cora?
also going to be looking at, like, is Roblox actually scary?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen the people make games video.
I've
It's
seen
it's
some
awfully
pretty scary
scary.
games on there.
Yeah, and we've got one more right at the end, which is called The Cheese is a Lie, so you'll have to stick around to find out what... Alright, anyways, I think we'll actually kick it off with our first subject here. Mojang loves to remove items. Yes, I say Mojang. That is the proper name. They're a Swedish company, get it right.
Yes.
Yeah, so this actually came from a video from Phoenix SC called The Heck is Crystallized Honey, I think? I mean, that's what I've got in the document here. We've had this document written for a while. So, you know, some of these
Yeah, we've
topics
been
might be
working on
slightly
it in
out
the
of
background.
date. Yeah, thanks mods. Yeah, shout out to them. Anyways, so
Yeah,
basically the
you
TLDR is Phoenix found an item called crystallized honey, and he said he gave it a purpose, and it was some weird thing with frogs, because you know, frogs are huge, and they're still huge. And apparently crystallized honey was removed if you put, you know, regular honeycomb into a furnace. I personally don't see a use for it.
Same.
It was probably just another vanity item or something. But I do have a few questions here written down, like what other discarded features, you know, should exist. And when I was writing this topic, I thought of one very specific one, which was the enchanted golden apple.
Oh, the enchanted golden apple.
Yeah, you remember you could like craft it with gold
Yeah,
blocks?
you could craft those. It was so much better.
Yeah, anyway, as I was writing that question, right, I was like, what if we gave lightning rods a use? Okay, so it's the enchanted golden apple, right? So it's a rare thing that you find. You know,
Yeah.
in what chests? What chests do they spawn in?
Uh, temple chest, dungeon. Not dungeon. Um, stronghold chest. Maybe in city
Desert
chest. I
temples?
haven't seen them though. Yeah,
Yeah,
desert
I don't know if
temples.
they spawn in in-city chests. Anyways,
They're pretty rare though.
they're kind of hard to get, and like they're a big tool for especially hardcore. So I was thinking, like, you know, the copper rod. I mean, sure, it's used for stopping thunder, which isn't really a problem for me because I just don't have weather on because, you know, recording. But I was like, what if Mojang made it somehow right that you could charge up gold blocks using
Uh-huh.
the lightning rod, and then that was the crafting recipe for the enchanted golden apple.
Mhm.
I feel like that would be like lightning is
Yeah,
a kind of a
I
rare
feel like
thing.
that would be better.
I mean,
And yeah, just with how rare lightning.
it's one of the few things you can't farm, I don't think. I don't know if
Uh,
there's a bunch of stuff.
well, I mean, you can farm lightning, but only during thunderstorms, which is
Yeah.
really annoying because they barely ever happen unless you have cheats on.
I don't actually remember the last time I had lightning strike near me as well.
Hmm. Neither.
So I'm looking at a website here of a bunch of stuff that Mojang's removed throughout the history of Minecraft. So the first one here is, of course, the enchanted golden apple crafting recipe. That was removed in 1.9.
What?
Do you feel
That's so
old?
long ago.
I
Yeah.
know. Most people play on 1.8, so they can, PvP better, I guess, but
Mm.
whatever. Apparently, horse saddles is another one.
What?
Yeah, I'm as confused as you are. For horses instead of pigs. They're like
Ah.
regular saddles. Oh, there must have been like a specific.
Yeah, like a mob specific saddle,
I
which
mean,
is
it
weird.
makes sense, but if there was no crafting recipe for it, it would have made getting saddles harder.
Yeah.
Although with like raid farms, as I've recently discovered, they're not that hard to get. I feel like
Mm.
they're renewable at least.
Yeah.
Another one
Very.
is the rose. You
Oh
remember the
yes, the
rose
old
texture?
rose texture. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is just making us sound really old now.
Man, there's so much stuff that's been.
Yeah. Green axolotl. That's a pretty recent
I
one.
I have no idea what a green axolotl.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the audience. But if you click on the link in the document, you can see it. Yeah, it's like the blue axolotl, except it's not colored. I'm kind of glad they removed that. Anyways, there's a bunch of stuff that they've removed. Hold on, rubies? Ruby ore was planned for the
Yeah,
game, but
I
emerald
remember when.
ore was chosen in favor of it.
Well,
Rubies were used to be villager trades and for armor and weapon crafting. What? That's
yeah,
so cool.
I think I remember playing with movies before.
Really? Would
Maybe once or twice.
Okay, so were they like a? Because what I'm reading here, they were a substitution for emeralds at one point.
Yeah, it was basically like better diamond at the time.
Really? Okay, well now we have netherite instead. I feel like that's kind of suiting.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like
Ruby feels like one of those things that if we actually had it in Minecraft, it would be very weird.
yeah,
It,
it would be hard to incorporate.
yeah, it just doesn't suit. I feel like. Oh, wait, dirt slabs. Hold on.
Wait, what?
Survival
Wait,
test.
crying obsidian was removed.
When?
Wait, was it blocked? This?
Yeah, read that. Anyway, dirt slabs were removed in survival test 0.26_04. They were an attempt to make nicer hills. Oh, I think I remember seeing a video about this where like Notch was trying to somehow smooth out hills and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it worked out very well, which I mean, that's alright, I guess.
Ah,
Anyway,
okay. So crying obsidian was like, it was like a respawn point, so basically a bed, but it was in like 1.3, so like alpha stages,
oh.
beta stages. It was really really early.
Oh.
I don't even remember that.
No. Okay. Wow, okay, so crying obsidian used to have a use and then it was removed
Yeah, it
and
was
now it's come
removed
back as a
like
decoration.
extremely early. Yeah, and now it's just a decoration block.
What else can you use it? I mean, I guess it's a renewable source of obsidian in a way.
Yeah, wait, can't you use it for a respawn anchor in the Nether?
Maybe. I don't is it the crafting recipe for it? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it's the crafting recipe for the respawn anchor. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I personally think we should bring back dirt slabs. I'm a builder, for anyone who
Yeah,
doesn't
I
know.
feel like dirt slabs.
Dirt
Would be
slabs
pretty
are an
nice.
alright idea, I feel like.
It would be
So
great for pathways and stuff as well.
yeah, I mean, you could lower pathways down with them, but I think it would just be better for smoothing out stuff.
Yeah, you could make like landscapes smoother as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch more things in here, like some generation things, like the obsidian walls that converged on 0,
Back
and
when everyone used to have trash phones and you
yeah,
had a
and
nether reactor core.
Black Steve. He was a feature at one point. I'm gonna chuck up an image on screen now
Oh,
for anyone
that's
who's
great.
not just listening but is actually watching. This is Black Steve. Say hi to him.
Hi, Black Steve.
Yeah, so I mean, Mojang removes a lot of stuff, I feel like. I mean, not really. Most of the features we've voted for in the past few years have kind of been, added back in. But even then, I feel like some of them had a lot more uses. And now I feel like they're kind of adding, like the fox, for example, was a little bit useless, I feel like. I remember when they started adding, God, what did they start adding? This was like 2017, I think. They started adding a bunch of mobs and stuff. I was like, there's no use for this. And at the time, I had a really bad computer, so it was like, I don't want more useless things, please. My PC can barely handle the game as it is. And I think I got really upset about that at the time. But I don't think it's really that important anymore to me. I mean, pandas, what do they do? sit around, I guess.
Yeah,
You can
that.
get slime from them, I guess. So there are uses to some of the things. I mean, like with foxes, I know that. Wait, who was it? One of the technical players. I don't remember who. It could have been like Ilmango, or not Ilmango, but someone in that kind of
Yeah, yeah.
community. They used foxes to get emeralds to trade with a wandering trader, and they started from like a
What?
single block or something. Who
Oh
was
wait,
it?
yeah, because they have like a 1 in 16 chance to spawn with an emerald in their mouth.
Yeah, so they do have
Or
uses, but
smaller.
for the majority of it, I feel like they are a little bit useless. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with.
people like the game looking better, though. I mean, if shaders are anything to go off of, I feel like that's kind of proof of that. I don't know. I bring back the enchanted golden apple recipe. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the way that it was. Maybe the charging idea. Hint, hint,
Yeah,
nudge,
yeah,
nudge, Mojang. Come on, get on it. I
yeah.
think we'll move on to the next topic here, which is called "What the heck is a gaming restaurant?" So this topic was found by Izzy, who is one
Izzy,
of the
yep.
mods. Yes, they do unpaid writing. Thanks, mods. And she found a article about why gaming restaurants are beginning to get big in a certain part in America, and basically the TLDR of the entire thing was talking about how entertainment's changed over time, and they did this one place, or a few places rather, with thought people are already playing video games and eating food in the comfort of
Yeah.
their home. Why don't we transform that into an actual place?
And they can pay to do it here.
Yeah, some of the. Hold on, let me open up the article here. You'll be able to see it for a second. It looks like an arcade. It's just an arcade, but like it's just a gaming place at the same time. Like I'm looking at this image that they have at the top of it. Yeah, see, here you go. Now I've got to start paying for access to it. I'm not going to do that. Um, but it looks like they've just taken a bunch of PCs and just shoved them in there. Like when I first saw this article, I imagined, oh yeah, it's gonna be like one big table or something, and like there's I don't know, maybe you're sharing a monitor or something, playing Smash, from the Nintendo. Goodness, um, but it's really not. It's something else, I'll tell you. And one of the questions that Izzy kind of proposed to us is it really a good idea to eat and play video games? And like even in such a public setting?
Mm.
What are your thoughts
Well,
on that?
I mean, like eating and playing video games, you can't do both of them at the same time normally. But like let's say you're playing a game, you die, and then while you're dead, you're like eating at the same time. If you do that at a restaurant, if the food comes out like just as you're starting a game or something like that, it could just be cold by the time you start eating, which is
Yeah.
just not satisfactory or
Actually, that's
anything
a
like
very
that.
good point. True. Because like if you're playing, let's just use Valorant as a modern example.
Okay, yep.
Me personally, my food wouldn't be cold because I just, I don't play first person shooters all that often, so I'd be dead pretty quick. But I mean, unless they have like special utensils or something, it kind of does present a bit of a problem. Something else I wanted to mention is like, why can't I just order a pizza at home and do that with my friends instead, like a LAN party?
Yeah, or like even not even a LAN party, just like playing on a shared console, like a PlayStation or an Xbox, and then you guys are playing split screen or something, which is
I'm
always
starting to
fun.
think of like the Cheeto fingers going on the
Yeah,
controller.
yeah.
That's what I'm imagining now. I mean, they've got like actual keyboards and stuff in the photo. I'm like, how
Hmm.
often do they really get cleaned? I mean, you'd
I would
hope every
hope.
day.
Yeah, you'd hope at least every day, at most like after every use.
I feel
But
like I feel like it is a bit like a maybe even a casino, in a sense. Like
yeah,
it's
it
great
does look pretty
if you
similar
go with
to it.
friends, like once or twice, right? But
It's great if it's social.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. But I feel like there'll be like one odd guy who's like sitting in the corner, and that's like his PC that he always goes to, and he always orders like I mean, I don't even know what food they're selling. I don't think the article actually says, Because like the only point I could see going to a place like this is if it was like actually pretty good food and not just stuff I could order to my house.
Same. Like if it was like somewhat restaurant quality, somewhat kind of finger food, because you want the balance, you know. You
Yeah.
don't want it to be like so restaurant quality that you just ignore the game completely and you're just eating the whole time. You
No.
don't want something that's like so low quality you can just leave it there for like 2 hours and just play the game, and then you're like, oh wait, my food, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
complete trash now.
Yeah, it's such a wild concept that someone. I mean, this is clearly for extroverts, right?
Yeah,
Like, there's no
it
there's no way
has to be.
introverts go to this.
It has to be. Unless they just like, like you said, the example, the one guy sitting in the corner
Yeah,
always orders a
I mean,
specific
he
thing.
probably he's like. I wonder if you have to pay for your time there, or if you just go in and you pay for the food. Because I feel like that kind of changes it depending on which one it is. Say it's like, I don't know, 20 bucks for an hour, and then you pay for
Hmm.
food on top of that. I feel like that gets a bit too expensive. And with like, I mean, we're using Discord right now for this.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that you couldn't do something like that in your own home. I mean, heck, even in your bedroom, you don't even need to have people come over.
Hmm.
So the fact that this has a market and apparently it's doing really well according to this article is kind of baffling to me. I don't think it would do well in New Zealand, personally.
Well, I mean, so my sister watches a lot of K dramas, and
Uh-huh.
I started watching them a while ago. And on them, I see like a lot of PC cafes, and they do really well, surprisingly. Like people come in, they pay for like an
Really?
hour or two, and then they just have like a vending machine which you just go up to and you can buy whatever you want. There's like packet noodles,
What type of
just a
cafe
bunch
was
of
this, sorry?
a PC cafe.
Oh, PC. Okay, sorry, keep
So
going.
it's not necessarily a restaurant where like you get actual like proper food.
Right.
It's more just like snacks.
I
But
mean, okay, so
still,
the use case I feel like, and this is something we can kind of attest to because we did this with one of
yeah,
the places in town, is you don't have a good PC, so you go to this place
yeah.
and spend the
Or you
money
don't
there.
even have a PC.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it's kind of better in that sense, but if you're going to it so often that it's like you're a regular there, at that point stop going, start saving your money
Yeah,
to get your
that,
own
that
PC.
that just seems like a problem.
I don't know. I mean, like, okay, so it says gaming restaurant, right? But
Yeah.
in the photo I only see PC. So I'm wondering if there's like, PS5s
Oh,
and
if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see some TVs with like Rocket League and stuff on them.
oh yeah.
I don't think there's any
Oh,
controllers.
okay, that does look kind of good, actually. I mean, like, that's what I would imagine. That's what I would rather do if I was going to a gaming restaurant. Because the first photo I saw, like, if you, the one at the very top of the article
Yeah.
is, like, it's basically just a gaming lounge.
Hmm.
But if you were doing, like, that bottom one and you were having, like, a party or something,
Yeah,
there, I
and then
feel
you
like
guys
that's
are doing
alright.
like little mini competitions and stuff.
Because I guess it would be about atmosphere, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like, it wouldn't be
like
about the actual hardware in this situation.
yeah.
It
Because
could
if
be
you're just
good in that
having a good
sense.
time and you're eating and playing games, that's just really fun with friends.
Yeah, yeah. And like I bring it back to that casino thing, with friends it would be great, but I feel like, if they're running like 3090, RTX 3090s, top of the
Then,
line,
mm,
get addicted, and then it's like, well, this isn't fun anymore. I wonder if it would be noisy. I also
well, I
wonder if the
mean, you know,
games were
gamers, they
pre-installed.
they they love to rage.
Yeah.
I
I,
say
s-
the gamers like I don't play games.
yeah, I swear the gamers, you made yourself sound old, man. We're 18. Chill out. Um, go. What was I gonna say? It's gone now. Yeah, I wonder if
uh,
games would be pre-installed. I feel like that would be a big downside if you couldn't.
mm.
I mean, it's
It,
kind of
it, it
weird.
would probably have like a couple games that they have just for everyone, like Minecraft,
Yeah,
Valorant, all those types of
Roblox.
games. And then if you want specific games, you'd have to like ask a manager or something, and it'd be like, "Oh, hey, here's the download code.
Mm.
Here's the pin number,
So
stuff
you
like
reckon
that."
they'd
Or
have
like,
the popular games, I guess.
yeah, so they just have popular games on there, like Roblox and stuff. And then any games that you want personally on the PC, they'll probably add them if there's like a demand for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's the other thing as well, is you're paying for I would hope they have an extensive library, you know?
Mm,
Like
yeah,
if I was
like
paying for just food, like I said earlier, and they were like 20 different multiplayer games that I could choose from without having to buy, that would be sick. That would be cool, I feel like. Because then you're paying for atmosphere and,
yeah,
access to games, which I mean,
and quality as well,
you can get a lot of
probably.
games with Game Pass for like $1 a month. That's definitely going to go up. I'm going to make a prediction right now. That will not be $1 in 5 years' time. $1 a
Five
month.
years? You're saying 5 years? I'm gonna say 7 months.
Yeah. Sometime within the next 5 years, it'll go up, but I feel like in 5 years' time, it'll be like any other subscription. You know, 10,
Yeah, it'll
20
probably
bucks
be
a
like
month.
$12 to $20
Yeah.
person.
I think we have exhausted this topic, which I think is a good time to do our artist shout out. Now, this is something that we will be doing each week, and of course, like I said, it will be live. So, the artist for this week that we're going to be shouting out is actually one of my favorite artists, and his name is Nubberg. I don't know if he does
What's your favorite
commissions,
artist?
but here's some of his art. I mean, neither me nor Koha can see it right now. And I think
No.
he's actually working on a logo for me right now, but I think he's just a pretty cool artist, and I feel like this is a good chance to really say, hey, this guy, he's cool in the Kiwi SMP community, and
Mhm.
even just support him by telling him that he's doing a good job. So
Yeah. Does he give him a pat on the back and
yeah,
thumbs
I
up?
mean, if you can find him.
Anyways, moving on. Don't we got how like Mojang has just started to just fail?
Oh yes. Okay, hold on. Let me find that in this document here. Yeah. So this was a video from. Hold on. Who was it? Ant Venom. Yes. This was a video. So he's been making a few videos for a while, where he's been talking about kind of the bad things, I guess, about like Minecraft Bedrock Edition and Mojang as a whole. But basically, this video that he said, this here, was basically focusing on Bedrock and how it's a pretty bad platform. But at the time, I felt pretty strongly about it. Now, this video has been out for a while, but like I said, we've been working on the script for a while. But I did write something at the time, so I'm gonna read it out here. Hold on, let me take a sip of water. Now,
Yes.
I love Minecraft, don't get me wrong. I've been playing it for almost 10 years now, but recently, Mojang has been making some interesting moves within specifically the Bedrock community. Now, I wouldn't have been really aware of them because I don't really play Bedrock if and Venom had not really, been showing these problems. We all know that Bedrock Edition of Minecraft is rather poor when it comes to quality in some places. It's missing a lot of features, has a lot of buggy ones, and apparently the marketplace is full of people who are ripping off content from other, Java Edition people to make a quick, dollar. And that kind of annoys me, when you put effort into original content and someone
Mm.
steals it. Happens all the time on the internet, but it's still upsetting when it happens. Now, with all of these problems, I often wonder why people would be interested in playing this version of the game. The answer is because it's popular. Many games have had a downfall because of the bad updates and developers/companies that simply don't care about their community. I want to say that this isn't the case in Mojang's situation, and I want to be right. We don't want another Halo situation, or even Call of Duty, whatever. I can't think of any others right now. So I hope that they keep a close watch over the community in the next few years, because just like you, I don't want Minecraft to die. It's a great game. We've all grown up with it. Nostalgia is really annoying, but it's still, a good game. And in that video, kind of everything that I touched on there was talked about. So I kind of wanted to ask the question, why do we think they're ignoring so many of the bugs in the Bedrock community? Do you have any interesting takes on that?
I feel like they're ignoring the bugs in the Bedrock community because they're trying. So I saw this like a while ago.
Mm.
They're trying to merge Java and Bedrock so that it's just like one platform for all players.
I think I
And
remember
slowly they're just
hearing
trying to
rumors about that.
integrate um, Java Edition into Bedrock because the coding on Bedrock is like a lot simpler, easier to read,
Isn't it?
easier to
I think it's
understand
C
than Java
plus
Edition.
rather than
Yeah,
written in Java.
yeah, something like that. But I don't really know. I don't know why they're ignoring the Bedrock community so much. There's so many bugs, especially with like online servers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It, it's
There's
just
actually I've actually got a list at the bottom of this article here. So there's one screenshot that's been around since 1.16 beta, where if you go to 65,536x and 65,535z, you just fall through the world. And there's a bunch of other things such as, and I'm sure every Bedrock player knows this one, random deaths. I've seen plenty of clips of people taking damage out of nowhere, dying, for no reason. Something else that Amp Venom kind of touched on was the chunk blending in Bedrock Edition was actually
it's
destroying
very
structures.
aggressive.
Yeah. And that I would assume that's a pretty easy fix. I don't know. I don't do coding.
Neither.
I don't want to say
Well, I mean,
it's
you do
definitely easy.
sometimes.
I mean, kinda. I'm not like making game level of coding yet. Mountain biomes don't generate past 2.8 million blocks in the video, and Venom just shows, like, I might be able to show this on screen now. The chunk just doesn't exist, pretty much. Like, it just goes down to deep slate layer. And that's a pretty integral thing, I feel like. I mean, okay, not many people go that far out, right?
I don't feel like almost anyone goes out that far, but still,
I mean, like, if
it's a
you
bug.
look at the way the Java developers, because there are two different sets of developers, right? I think is it Stockholm? Where is it? The one in Sweden just does Java, and there's one in America, I'm pretty sure, that just does Bedrock. But the Swedish developers, like, they're fixing stuff way out past the borders, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you have one branch doing that, and then you have this branch not doing that, it's a little bit inconsistent. And like, even sure, not many people go out there, but say I wanted to teleport to 2 million blocks out, and wanted to see what was going on out there, it would fall apart.
And
I mean,
it's just deep slate.
yeah, the stripe lands. Oh boy, have you seen videos about
Stripe
those?
lands?
Yeah.
Nope, I've only seen like the far lands and stuff like that.
Yeah, look up the stripe plans real quick. I'll go through and I'll just list a few of the marketplace related bugs. So clicking on the price of mine coins of a certain thing. I hate mine coins. I mean, you've got to get money somehow as a company, I guess. It will just purchase that item without warning, and I feel like that'd be annoying if I like spent $7 of my money as a kid on something and then accidentally buy the wrong thing. You can't get refunds for mistakes like that. You can't get refunds at all for anything you buy on the marketplace. There's no confirmation screens, so all of this stuff I'm just ripping straight from Anthem's video, just gonna say that. There's no confirmation screens, so if you go to buy something, there's no, yes, I definitely want to buy it like you would expect on something else. And probably the biggest one is the stealing of content from the Java community. I mean, it literally has copyrighted, community-generated content from the Java edition in there, such as the Faithful pack. Have you ever used that pack before?
No.
The Faithful it's used by one of our friends, Demo. It's kind of like an old base game, like before they updated the textures.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, but instead of it being 8x8 textures, it's 16x16. So it's slightly high quality. There's been a bunch of drama around that, but it's straight up been ripped from the original creators and just placed onto the Bedrock edition. And now they're charging money for it. And it's like, Mojang, what are you doing? If you're going to have a marketplace where you can have, creators, anyone really, create something, surely you would want to make sure that they're not infringing on copyright. Like, Microsoft, hello? We I would assume you're pretty sensitive about copyright, but yeah. Anyways, did you look up the stripe plans?
Yes, and it's horrible. So pretty much like all blocks are deleted except for like specific stripes. Like it'll be, there will be a stripe down the y-axis going down the z-axis.
Yeah.
And then one block over, it's just completely empty. There's nothing there. Then one block over, it's just full of blocks again, and it just keeps repeating and repeating. It just looks really cursed.
I might be able to play a little bit of this video now in case if I remember. I don't really want to say that too much because I don't want to put heaps of work into this, but anyways, yeah. Does that happen? I don't remember. I think it happens after the world
It
border?
happened at about 32 million blocks out. The guy said
Yeah. Is that less than or more than the world border?
that's a lot more than
Yeah,
water
that's way more. Yeah.
because it
So
only goes to positive and negative 3 million either way.
yeah, so it's 10 times further out. But I mean, before that point, I think even before you reach the border, the character starts to get a bit jittery and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Things
So
do get pretty funky.
I don't know. The only thing we can do as a community, right? The only thing we can do to try and fix this situation is not play the game. And that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but if you say, "Oh, I have this problem or I have that problem or there's this such bad thing," and then you continue to play the game, it tells the developers that it's actually not as big of a problem as
Mm.
the community thinks it is. And I think I stole that line from a channel named Garbage, and he was talking about Apex Legends, I think, at the time. But I feel like that sentence definitely covers a lot of different games. If you're still playing the game and you think there's something that's breaking the game heaps, the most you can do in protest is not play it. I mean, you can go complain on Twitter, I guess.
Try and get them cancelled.
Yeah, but I don't think it's really gonna do much in the long term, at all. So, yeah, I mean, it's a shame, really. I mean, something else that I think either Ant Venom said, someone else said. I don't remember who said it. I just take quotes from people all the time. Don't remember who said them. Was so Java Edition is used by most content creators, right?
Yeah.
But the most played version is Bedrock Edition, and it seems like there's a bit of a disconnect between what people are seeing on like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram itself, the quality level there, and then they go and play it
Mhm.
themselves, and there's kind of a bit of a mismatch. And I feel like in the future, I feel like that could lead to some player amount problems, but at the same time, I feel like Minecraft is Minecraft, and there will not be, another huge Minecraft. If that
Mhm.
makes sense. Like
Yeah.
back in the Call of Duty days, there was going to be another first-person shooter, but Minecraft
Mhm.
just does Minecraft so well that it's like I don't
Yeah.
really
There's
see
no
anything
need for
sticking with it.
anything else. I mean, there's Minecraft sibling Terraria, but they're more like non-identical twin brothers
Yeah,
rather than like I'm copying you, you're copying me.
yeah. So they're different. In a way, I think I've just realized I screwed up some of the graphics. All right, I've switched that back. Hopefully, it's fixed now. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of that topic. It's sad, but I mean, what can really do? You and me can't really do anything, but I guess we could
Mhm.
shed light to other people who, um, you know, maybe didn't know about that stuff or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of things that people don't really know about, Roblox is actually scary. Like I'm not joking with you right now, okay?
Mhm.
Now, some of you, I don't know if Koha has, some of you may have seen there's a channel called People Make Games, where they've made two videos. So they've made an exposing and then an original, and it's very high quality. It's not like a commentary, crappy thing. Like these people, actually do coding and stuff. Anyways, video talking about the bad things that go on in the Roblox sphere, I guess you could call it. And this specific video that I picked up from somewhere else, the video is called The Dark Side of Roblox, How Kids Are Being Manipulated, was talking more about the security side of things, but either way, it reminded me how bad Roblox is, actually. Can you go ahead and read the TLDR for me, Koha, so I can just have some water?
So pretty much the channel goes through the different ways that your kids can be exploited using Roblox, from details um like your credit card details, where you live,
Yep.
IP address, stuff
Your
like
actual
that.
name. Yep.
Yeah. And just like your general location. It's not really safe to have kids on there with grown adults and stuff. But if you consider the video to be a spiritual successor to People Make Games' original video exposing the scummy practices of such companies and the grooming that goes on in the background.
Yeah, so something that's very well hidden in the Roblox sphere. This was brought up before the company went public.
Yeah.
So I'm very surprised that people actually invested in a company when all of this controversy is going on. But something that is quite frequent is older people going onto the platform and kind of trying to, because like you can make your own games, right? In
Yeah.
Roblox, you don't have to be any
I've
age to do
seen a
that.
lot of really cool games though.
Yeah, yeah, and so you can like actually become a developer, and you can actually earn money from these games. And so you'll have people who are like 23 hiring people who are maybe 13, 14. They have no idea about labor laws. They don't know anything about taxes or, anything to do with the workplace. They just want
Yeah.
some, I was going to say
Some
mine
easy
coins,
money.
but that's not what they are. What are they called? Robux.
Robux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, there's one story from the People Make Games. I think he was an anonymous guy. He ended up making $2,000 from a game he made, like real world money, 2,000
Whoa.
US dollars. And he ended up spending it all on hats and stuff. And it kind of goes to show you how much they are actually exploiting the weaknesses, I guess. Would you call it that, of children?
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the 23-year-old hiring people. Um there's one specific example. Because of the way Roblox moderates their platform, they
Mhm.
basically said, after reports of several people who had been under this guy's influence or whatever, um, we can't do anything because it's not on our platform. So this guy was doing this stuff on Discord. And I
Oh
thought that was a
no.
really irresponsible approach to that. Like, if I had like a 12-year-old kid and they were chatting to a 23-year-old, without my knowledge,
There's some concern there.
yeah, I would be really concerned about it. And like, it's not even just with stuff that happens outside the platform. Like, you'll have people with inappropriate names or servers that are really inappropriate. Or now that they've got the voice chat feature, I think that's only 18 plus, which you can
That.
fake, but you need an ID. I wouldn't give
Mhm.
Roblox my ID.
Neither.
Um, so I just think there's so much stuff that they could be doing better, but now that they're like an actual corporation that actually has stocks, you can go buy Roblox stocks right now. I don't know how much they are. If you could look that up for me, Koha.
Yep.
I don't think they're really going to be addressing much of these problems, because if they can get away with it, they will. And one of the other scummy things that Roblox kind of does is they have, like, okay, so on Steam, Koha, right? You
Yeah.
can sell stuff on the community marketplace, right? You can see the
Mhm.
price
Mhm.
history of it. You can do,
The sell and buy
yeah,
history,
yeah, yeah.
previous owners, stuff
That's all
like
right
that.
for, I don't know what the age restriction is for Steam. I'm going to assume 13.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 13 plus or 12
Yeah, but
plus.
they actually do have restrictions. Anyways, um, what would you say is the demographic for Roblox? Like, how old?
Um, like my little brother plays it, so he's been playing it for a while. So I'd like to say like 7 to maybe 14, 15 years
Mm.
old.
I
But
would assume that
my
too.
other brother also plays it, and he's like 17.
Yeah, I would assume that too. But Roblox has the same thing that Steam has. They have
Yeah.
one of those marketplaces, but it's way more into gambling. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure kids gambling is illegal. I don't know. I think in the US, you have to be, in some places you have to be 21 to be able to gamble. And we have a website here that is mainly US, mainly Western, um, where kids as young as the age of probably even 5 nowadays are able to gamble, virtual Robux and all that kind of stuff. And I'm very surprised that not very many people are getting upset about this. Like, one of the things I wrote in the discussion questions was, why do we cancel, individuals that, quotation, may have done something wrong or may not, they're all allegations, whatever,
Yeah.
when really there are big corporations like this, like even Amazon is bad. Why aren't we, trying to cancel the big companies instead? Is it because we've gotten lazy? Is it because we don't care? I don't know. I don't
Maybe
have the
you're
answer.
oblivious.
Yeah, I mean, it could be oblivious a little bit, but this video, right, has 200,000 views, the one that I originally found. The
Yeah.
first People Make Games one, let me look up. People Make Games Roblox has, hold on, let me open up the video here.
This story began.
One second. It's got 1.8 million views. So it's kind of relatively small. I mean, when you think about the wider population, it's not huge. But even then, 1.8 million views is enough for a big company like the Washington Post even. They're not going to do anything cuz they're owned by Bezos. Fun fact.
Damn.
To pick up on it and report about it. So I'm just surprised that Roblox is actually getting away with this stuff. And I'm glad that I played Roblox when sure it had some of those features, but it was a little bit smaller. And I'm glad that even though my sister still plays it now, we're both old enough to understand, when a scam is happening or what gambling is and not to do it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's scary, man. It's a scary world out there. Stay safe, I guess. And
Mhm.
if you're gonna have kids,
Don't.
maybe just let them play on your personal Minecraft server instead. Yeah, I mean, you just don't have kids as well. It's the best way to keep them safe. Anyways, I think now it's actually time that we do Content Creator of the Week. And we've just decided to go with kind of an easy one, kind of a sad one as well. Technoblade, we love you, man.
Rip
Sad that you're dead.
Technoblade.
Yeah, rip Technoblade. You've been a huge inspiration. I've talked about this, I think, on maybe Twitter, maybe my Instagram, whatever, which you guys should totally follow. If you would like to be featured in Content Creator of the Week, make sure you go ahead and join our Discord and, contact me on there, and we'll consider adding you as Content Creator of the Week next week. I think it's time we move on to our final one. We've been going for 43 minutes. I gotta say, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, so the final one is the cheese was a lie. Now, I have said this fact, and I think I said it on my birthday stream. I think I have said that the
We've
US.
talked about it a lot.
Yeah, the US has cheese caves, right? And so this video comes from, was it Film Theory? No, Food Theory.
Yeah, Food Theory by Matt Pett.
Yeah, so, and the title of the video is Why is the Government Hiding 1.4 billion pounds of cheese? Now, he goes through a bunch of stuff, and it turns out the titles that we may have seen are probably misleading. But yeah, basically, for those of you who don't know, Misery, goodness, the place in the US, not the feeling. Okay.
Carry on.
Has massive underground cheese caves and warehouses. We say caves, but they're warehouses.
Yeah, they're pretty much like big industrial fridges that don't need cooling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
natural cooling.
exactly like that. But all across the US, there's about 1.4 billion pounds of cheese in these warehouses. It's kind of the same. They keep it for the same reason that Canada keeps their maple syrup stores, just in case.
Yeah, but another thing that they keep it for is because like they've invested so heavily into the dairy farming and stuff.
Yeah.
That they just have so much excess milk. They have nowhere to store it. So
Actually,
they
yes, that is
process it
something
into
that
cheese, and then, yeah.
Matt Pett did touch on in his video. Basically, the reason why the US has so much damn cheese is there was like something wrong.
There
with the
was a
dairy
milk
industry.
shortage.
Yeah, milk shortage, and so the government pumped a bunch of funding into it to temporarily, increase the economic stuff, make it better, whatever. And then they realized after doing that for a few years that they just had too much milk. So they're like, okay, we need some long-term way to do it. And so they started keeping it as cheese, supposedly. But that's not the misleading part. That's all right, right? Technically they're caves, they're actually warehouses. The misleading part of all of the ones that we've seen is actually the fact that what was I gonna say? Is actually the fact that some of the numbers are a bit fudged up. I mean, America has a lot of cheese, but I mean, most of it's sitting there to be aged. Like you age cheese. I mean, blue cheese is super aged. It's literally moldy cheese.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of a. You can say, did you know America has cheese caves and that kind of stuff, but it's not for the reason that you think it is. I don't quite remember how he worded it in the video, but I would definitely say go check it out. Food Theory. Why is the government hiding 1.4 billion pounds of cheese? That's the video. There might be a card. I don't know. But yeah. What have you got in discussion questions here?
I'm not going to say the first one, but
Please don't.
like originally they were drowning themselves with milk because like they had a milk shortage, then too much milk, and then they decided, oh hey, we'll store the milk, and then they're like, oh hey, there's so much milk, it's all spoiling, we should process that milk, and then it turned into cheese, and then cheese cakes, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, like, where does all the cheese get used? Like, what are the uses of the cheese?
Do you want some of the cheese, Koha?
I- Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, actually, slight thing to add on there. I've just remembered. The warehouses don't just store cheese, by the way. The barrels have
Yeah.
cheese in them, but they have things
Mhm.
like Lunchables, other
Yeah.
long-term storage things. That's
Oh,
why it's
least
misleading.
snacks were...
But yeah, where are they putting? Who's buying it? Maybe. I mean,
What are they using it for?
I feel like
Why
I
aren't they
think in the
selling it?
video he said some of it was being given to food, like shelter things for homeless people. You know, because
Still
cheese is
though, like
nice.
they have so much excess cheese.
Bruh,
Just
it costs like $8 a block, up to $15 in expensive times, and that's for like what 500 grams in New Zealand. Our cheese
yeah.
is so expensive by comparison. Do the Americans put cheese in everything? Let us know in the comments if you've made it this far
They
into
use a
this.
lot of cheese.
Yeah, if you're an American and you've made it this far into this long podcast,
Hit
or you're
that
watching the clip,
subscribe button down below.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Follow the
let us
socials
know.
on screen.
Is cheese just put everywhere? I don't know.
I feel like it would be used everywhere just because they've got so much of it.
Surely they're selling a bunch of it to China as well. Like
Yeah,
surely
like
they're into cheese, right? Maybe
Hmm.
not. I don't know.
Nah, I
We've got
feel
a
like
very
it
Western
would be
view.
a lot of very like westernized countries that sell it to.
Yeah.
Just because they and maybe like Africa. I don't
Possibly.
know.
I feel like something that they do is they reprocess a lot of that cheese into other products,
Yeah,
and that's
like
why if you like buy cheese, it's like 1% cheese. And,
recycled cheese.
yeah, like you buy cheese in New Zealand, right? And it's like milk, sugar, cultures, whatever. And then you buy cheese in the US, and it's like 1% cheese, and then 99% just a bunch of starch powder, and a bunch of other chemicals and stuff.
Yeah. American food is not
It's something.
it.
I mean, I haven't really tried it. I don't know if I want to, but I guess it would be a fun thing to find out.
These nuts, these nuts, these nuts, these nuts. Nah,
Anyway, I'm gonna keep that in. That brings us to the end of our topics for this week's, Ivory podcast. I don't remember what I said at the beginning of this. This is our first time recording it.
Yeah, this was just our first and last try.
Yep, of recording. Yeah, hopefully next time we'll be able to get the audience a little bit more involved, and it'll be streamlined onto my Twitch, twitch.tv/Mr. Ivory124. If you're interested in watching me play games there, we also play KWSMP, Minecraft. I want to get into doing more planned stuff, so not challenges, but stuff with the audience, that kind of stuff. And this should hopefully be streamed live once a week at about, I don't know, 7 to 8, starting at about 7 to 8 p.m. New Zealand time. The time for Central Time will be up on screen right now. But thank you for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, just go down to the comments and type cheese with the cheese emoji.
Cheese.
That would be awesome. Anyways, we'll see you next time.
Cheese.